Oh yeah. The bells have token and um coffin fit. What was I have things to say, but of course in the middle of the toke I forget them. I just wanted to open a video like that so that it's established that this is a 420 weed friendly zone. We stoner, we love stoners. Mainly because I find stoners are able to reflect on things very, very, very well. And it brings me joy because I don't have to do it for them. um, that being said, there was a reason I'm gonna turn off my fan. I'm gonna, or at the very least, turn it down. Give me a second. There, okay, it's on like sleep mode. So now it'll still circulate without being too loud. And I'm also gonna close my window because it is hot AF here. And I don't need my room being hot as balls because I don't need to be hot as balls. Don't want to be. Um, there was something there was something that I wanted to like go into this day, and there was something I was thinking about literally before I started this. There, yeah, giving. Connection. Okay. Okay. I figured if I just start shuffling, the cards will remind me, and I'll because that's how that works. They'll remind me. Okay, do we want to slow down? Wow. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is giving here the Hierophant. Okay. Four of Cups. So, yeah, whoever this is, you're showing up, and I think the Hierophant in reverse is how you're showing up for this collective at the moment. It's giving the energy of I'm being giving. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know how this makes sense and why. Okay. So the message is it kind of seems like right now you're at a point where there's some kind of connection where you're giving room for error in this connection when there shouldn't be any. The six of Pentacles and the Hierophant, it makes me think that like you're giving a second chance when you shouldn't be. And yeah, it feels like it's coming from a place of like believing that you're doing the correct thing, when really with that you are prolonging some kind of cycle here. yeah, yeah. There was an opportunity that it felt like you missed it, but it was actually a tower. And like I'm getting what happened when it did, and happened to the extent that it did, so that you would see the situation for what it is and you would get yourself out so much sooner. And I feel now that there is, yeah, there's some situation where it's like you don't want to let go of the connection, you want to give it a chance, but you know it's not going to work. So you're sort of, instead of just being like, no, it won't work, like, why even why prolong our own suffering in this connection or this situation? When really all there's left to do is walk away. And I know how that relates to me. So thank you, spirit guides. I haven't been willing to accept it, which is why my spirit guides kind of gave me a rough day today. I did some stuff with a friend this morning, which was fun, and then, I ended up getting myself sick just by hitting my vape too much, which happens sometimes because I'm not the best with nicotine, and it does a lot to your system. So I sort of, I made myself nick sick, and then fully like threw up, like it was bad, like shakes and stuff, which can happen, especially because I have a pretty uh, unhealthy disposition naturally. I've sort of been chronically ill my entire life, but with that and getting sick, like, I don't know. It was a moment of reflection because my guides were really like, you need to stop, you need to take care of yourself, you need to do some of these little things that you've been putting off. Like I cleaned my room here, took a proper shower. I had been sort of skipping my like hair showers and stuff, and I've just been doing body ones. Um, and yeah, they really like they took me out of it for a while just to really wait for me to slow down and do that well, because I needed time to reflect myself. I was thinking about it, and I had gotten the message through the cards, and I hadn't been ready to really accept what they were saying. Um, and I wasn't really ready at the time to properly put the attention to it. But in my situation, the way I was looking at it is this person, I seeing the cards, I feel like in my situation, the person would have come forward with some kind of offer of friendship. Um, and like, I know it's not gonna work. I know this person isn't somebody that can be in my life long term. I know that. I've seen how things go. But part of me still cares, right? So part of me wants to be honestly just stupid and give them that chance. And even though I think that it comes from a grounded place, giving that chance, there's there's something to be said for the fact that I think that it it maybe is more grounded to recognize the truth of the matter and to be honest. Because I know in my situation, things aren't going to work. No matter what happens, that's not someone I can have in my life again. So giving them that second chance, it wouldn't even be fair because it wouldn't actually be a second chance. And that's what my guides have been sort of pushing me to understand with these last couple videos. And I didn't have the capacity yet to reflect on that. And they put a little roadblock in there till I did. That being said, I think the collective that I'm reading is probably, I mean, obviously this is a very personal message, but I do think the collective I'm probably reading for has something similar or has something to learn from this. Yeah, and actually part of what I'm getting is just, I hate this because it feels so like tooting my own horn, but my guides are literally saying that some of you are here to see me reflect on like on the situation, just and my own hang-ups about the situation, because something about highlighting that like reflection is possible and it can be done in a way that does not harm anything. I don't know what word to use there, but it can be done in a way that's not volatile. It can be done in such a calm, collected, grounded way. Because, yeah, like, sure, I wasn't grounded when I was throwing up, but that's not what made me realize what was going on. I already knew what was going on. That slowed me down enough that I really had to sit with it for a while, right? Because I was sick. I had to lie there and just do nothing. So, and then being able to like come to a video and start trying to read tarot and then fully reflect on where I'm at in the situation and being honest. That's the other thing, is people really don't think about honesty. It it's possible. You can be open and honest about things, and like it's fine. Like, sure, I don't know, someone might see this and be like, oh, like there's a problem here, but at the end of the day, I was willing to accept where I was. I was willing to accept the situation. I was willing to accept my views of the situation and how they were impacting it. And I was able to reflect on that. And I was able to do all of that very calm, very peacefully, very just, yes, this is. And I really think that that's important for somebody, because it, like, I think if you're watching this, maybe that the reason why you're being guided to it is simply to know that healthy like accountability exists. People can do it. Like, and if you want to be even more accountable with like the me not taking hair showers, like my hygiene was dipping, babes. Like, I hadn't been taking body showers even as much as I should have been. And like, I'll fully admit that, because that's like, it's open, it's honest, it's real, but at the end of the day, what does that affect? Like, sure, someone might go, ew, you're gross, you didn't shower once too many times. Okay, well, I'm clean now. I had a shower. So what is that? What does that change? I accepted that I was dirty and I went and had a shower. So now we're clean. Your your perception of the past does not define me. And also, my own perception of the past does not define me. I am who I am right now. And yeah, things happened in the past and I will hold myself accountable for that. But as long as I am holding myself accountable for that and moving forward, it's not a lot more I can do, right? So yeah, I really think that this is just to highlight for somebody what healthy accountability is and healthy like growth is. Because not to toot my own horn, but to toot my own horn, I do tend to be pretty good at reflection, and I will always admit my own fault before I will admit somebody else's to a fault. But because of that, it does mean that when they're like in a situation like this, like I have been deluding myself with this, thinking, oh, maybe there's a chance we could be friends. And no, like I gotta stop. At the end of the day, I know there isn't. I know this is not someone I can forgive. And trying to pretend that I can, it's just gonna hurt everyone involved. So just, yeah, don't be honest with yourself, especially with yourself. There is no point trying to trick yourself, babes. At the end of the day, like, you know, there's something in us, and people are really good at convincing themselves of a new story because we convince ourselves what we want to believe, right? And the human mind, to an extent, is very fickle in the fact that if it wants to believe something, it will do anything in its power to find the evidence that that's true. And that's why we run into so many situations with people who experience like paranoia and like them like really believing that like all of these patterns and signs are something. And to an extent they are, but typically it's not what they think it is. They put the focus somewhere else because they aren't willing to reflect on their own situation and what is truly causing that those anxieties and paranoias and where it's coming from. And like one of my good friends, like they have paranoid thoughts sometimes and they're really good at catching themselves because they're like, no. Like they're like, remember, that's not how things are. That's just my jumping ahead. And they're really good at that. And I appreciate for that, especially because they'll call it out for me when I start jumping ahead because they're so aware of it. Which also, yeah, I would say rely on the people around you. Yeah, yeah. Like I don't even remember where I was going with that last point, but healthy reflection, healthy growth, healthy coping, healthy all of that. It exists. It really does. It's just pushing. It takes a long time to push there. But honestly, like being honest with yourself is one of the best ways to get there. So yeah, that's the video. I don't know, did I even pull a card? I like looked at some a little bit. I guess I did. Okay. Okay. Bye.